All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Tonight, well, I just got done watching the Kobe statue unveiling, and I'm not gonna lie, sat there and watched a bunch of the footage, a lot of the full length stuff too, and it was kind of emotional stuff. So I busted out a bottle of wine, and here I am, still drinking that wine. Um, Long story short, I've been stuck at home for quite a few weeks here. Um, I got a torn calf muscle, and it's been pretty rough. I've been on crutches and all this stuff, and I've been a little down on myself. But thinking about Kobe and all the all the shit that he endured and kept playing through, it's getting me motivated and pumped up again. I'm on one crutch. I'm starting to limp a little bit. I think I'm a couple of days out from gently walking again. I'll be back on my feet soon. And I especially suggest everybody go out and watch what Phil Jackson said about Kobe because that was a cool speech that he made today. Um, Anyways, I'm in a Kobe mood. I'm a little sauced up, and I figure, what the hell? Let's fire out a video. Let's watch some Kobe stuff. If y'all don't mind, and I'm having a couple of drinks and I'm a little loose, then fuck it, let's do it. Um, First one I want to do today, and it might be the only one. We'll see how this night goes. But this, because that image is absolutely classic, and I know some backstory behind it. But Jimmy X High Roller, he makes some great content. I've never seen this, and I want to check this out. So let's check it out together, all right? By the way, thanks everybody for watching this channel. I know this is a long intro, and I appreciate you all. Let's appreciate Kobe together, all right?
Have you ever seen this photo before? It's
Yep.
iconic. One of the most powerful photos the NBA has ever produced. A young Kobe Bryant in the midst of a heated battle taking a moment to hear the wise words of his idol Michael Jordan. It's been seen by millions, but do you know the context of this picture? The story behind it? It's December 17th, 1997. The Lakers were 18-5, dominating the NBA behind superstar Shaquille O'Neal and a 19-year-old soon-to-be all-star Kobe Bryant. On the other end of the court, you have the Chicago Bulls, reigning NBA champs, coming into the game with a record of 14-9 with the best player in the league. The league's two best teams facing off in the Staples Center. Coming into this game, Kobe Bryant wanted to make a statement against the great Michael Jordan. This was the season he would break out as a legitimate NBA talent and prove to the world that he wasn't just another student of MJ's. And with Shaq sidelined, this was Kobe's opportunity. And it wouldn't take long for him to get his point across.
Real quick, cool thing about Kobe was, I mean, he was so competitive when it came to Jordan. I mean, to the point where he was almost an asshole in the very beginning. Um, Phil Jackson arranged a meeting for him and MJ and Phil to sit in a room in a cigar room of the Lakers facility, and Jordan was just going to sit there and talk to him about like why he should give the triangle offense a chance and move the ball around and just trust that your shots will come. And Kobe just disregarded the entire meeting. It just went up to MJ and was just like, "I could take you one on one." He was so freaking cocky. Excuse me. But the reason I bring that up is because I know a little bit of the backstory of this image. And even though Kobe was dead set on surpassing Jordan in every possible way, he was still asking him for his advice. And he continued to do so throughout his entire career and even after his career, just as far as like life lessons. So imagine the guy you're trying to surpass, you're hitting him up, and even in game, you're asking him for advice. Sorry for the ramble. Like I told you, I had some drinks. Let's keep watching. Let's keep watching.
Of the incentive. Kobe Bryant shooting and hitting with Michael Jordan in his face. And you hold people down shooting.
Oh shit, he's going at
He's
MJ.
better than a lot of backups in the NBA center. Guarded by Michael Jordan.
God damn,
And a fall away by Kobe Bryant.
that's a ridiculous shot.
And even Michael Jordan will tell you that Kobe Bryant, the future of the NBA.
That look on Jordan's face, by the way, you rarely saw that. That was like a oh shit, you know. I mean, you see this in some All-Star games too. Actually, you see this every time he plays Kobe, which it just he's really freaking focused. He's literally telling himself like, "Oh shit, this fucking kid's trying to humiliate me." He's not used to that. He's used to just destroying everybody. Kobe was a different beast.
You're looking a 20-point for his in-state. And Jordan with a move quickness and to be good three-point shooter. And Eddie Jones got his points again.
3 defenders.
Kobe Bryant up and under and fouled by Luke Longley as Jordan is guarding. Kobe Bryant.
God damn, how did Jordan not block that?
Defense most nights. Until Jordan gets 2 more, the Lakers are getting tonight at the hands of the world. The fact that he's a highlight.
That's the only thing MJ really had. I mean, okay, not the only thing, but that's like one main thing. Phil Jackson was asked at one point, what was the difference between Kobe and Jordan? And Phil Jackson said, the mitts, the hands, because he could just grab that ball and just move it all around and grip it and do whatever the hell he wanted.
But there is not one. Jordan looking for years on Monday night of 31 after establishing a career high of 23.
Man, Kobe just bombing threes.
Off the bench, a 19-year-old Kobe was going blow for blow with the league's MVP.
He was so skinny back then, man. He was a little kid.
Mike with 36, Kobe with 33.
Damn,
the Lakers
Kobe
were taking a beating, but Kobe was making a statement.
Yeah, you remember that. You remember that. Even though it was scrub time, he's still trying to make a point. And Jordan notices. This is not edited. Like, what was going on? Freaking Kobe's over here pulling a windmill.
Taking a beating, but Kobe
so powerful that he falls on his ass. And MJ's on the bench while it's scrub time because they destroyed the Lakers, just going like, holy shit, this kid reminds me of me.
Was making a statement.
Look at that
and
look.
With 7 minutes and 9 seconds left in the game, in the middle of this intense matchup, with Bulls small forward Scott Burrell at the line, Kobe approaches Michael and sparks a conversation. And a
23 minutes, 21, damn, almost a point a minute. As a kid, 12 Lakers, 6 in the second half, man. Kobe, even before he was really Kobe, he was showing signs.
Photographer snapped this photo. Kobe asked Mike a question about his jump shot, and Mike gives Kobe advice that, without a doubt, stuck with him for the rest of his career. But pay attention to Kobe's demeanor.
Yeah, fill the defense with your legs. I wish I had that advice when I was playing ball when I was younger. That's great advice. How do you anticipate the defense? With your legs? Shit.
Michael is doing the talking, and Kobe is all ears, listening attentively. A moment for a young kid to hear from the man that he shaped his entire game after. One of the most subtle.
Look at that respect. I'm sorry for pausing so much. Just like, this is huge for me. You know, I wasn't planning on covering something like this, but tonight kind of just spurred it. That's one of those things where I've known a lot of guys and a lot of people who, when they want to emulate someone or be better than somebody, they try to destroy that somebody. And I disliked Kobe in the 2000s because I was such a Jordan fan. But I got to give it to Kobe because he didn't try to bash Jordan. He respected Jordan all the way to the end of his life. And that's because instead of trying to crush him, he was actually, like, through respect, he was asking for advice from the guy. And I mean, this whole thing, like Jimmy X says, this whole interaction just shows it all. Like, he's not being cocky. He's literally asking a question. Like, how do you feel the defense? How do you anticipate the defense? And Jordan's just telling him, and Kobe's just soaking it in like a sponge.
Kobe advice that, without a doubt, stuck with him for the rest of his career. But pay attention to Kobe's demeanor. Michael is doing the talking, and Kobe is all ears, listening attentively. A moment for a young kid to hear from the man that he shaped his entire game after.
It's like a big brother, little brother.
But memorable moments in Kobe's career. And there are.
And if you don't know, like, Jordan literally refers to him as little brother. You know, to this day.
Moments like this throughout the history of the game. when a single photo captures the essence of a player, a game, a legacy. When the story behind the photo is just as interesting as the photo itself. Some of these iconic images have backstories that we've all become familiar with,
Don't bust your ass,
whereas
Brock.
others come from seemingly insignificant moments that we would come to acknowledge years later. Like on December 6, 2010, when the Miami Heat faced off against the Milwaukee Bucks. Just 22 games into the new Big Three era, and the Heat weren't exactly living up to expectations. With a record of 14-8, this new era was getting off to a rocky start, but during this seemingly uneventful December matchup, LeBron and his right-hand man Dwayne Wade had a moment that would be the turning point in their season. After getting out to a 6-2 lead, Dwayne Wade rebounds the ball and gets out on the break. He spots LeBron trailing and dumps off a no-look pass. Then, a photographer on the baseline captures a photo that would be seen around the world.
Yep, with the arms extended.
Lamute got a touch, but it goes to Wade. He has Arroyo in front. And follows.
Yeah.
To James.
If you miss,
That's such a classic
and don't
picture.
come up with a rebound,
That's such a classic picture. D-Wade knew Braun was gonna dunk that
LeBron
shit.
with his trademark tomahawk. D-Wade with his arms out, a look of confidence like, yeah, that just happened.
He didn't even
a
look.
single moment that
He didn't even have to
encapsulates
look.
one of the greatest duos the league has ever seen. Following this game, the Heat would win 17 of their next 18 games and establish themselves as the best team in the NBA. And it was in this moment that we would all come to realize just how special the Heat would be. Speaking of dominant dynasties, the Los Angeles Lakers.
I just wish we talked more about D-Wade. I'm always going to do it on my channel, but so many people are forgetting about D-Wade. You know, they think D-Wade was like nothing without LeBron. It's just ridiculous. LeBron went to Wade to win. Like nobody knows the fucking history.
And the Boston Celtics have proven to be two organizations that have controlled the league since its inception. Throughout the 80s, these teams would face off in the most intense rivalry in basketball, led by two all-time legends in Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. Since their days in college, Magic and Bird seemed to always find a way back to each other. Whether it was the NCAA championship, the MVP race, or the NBA playoffs, it always came right back down to Bird and Magic.
By the way, I've covered these guys a lot, but how beautiful is it that they were such rivals? They were like bred to hate each other since college, and they ended up being friends afterwards, out of respect. Love that.
And in the 1985 NBA Finals, it was no different. After beating the Lakers in the finals the season prior, the intensity between these two teams was at an all-time high. Fights were breaking out every single game, and neither team was going to back down. It's Game 2 in Boston Garden. After going back and forth for 3 quarters, the Lakers have gotten out to a decent lead early in the fourth, but the Celtics refuse to break. Bird has 20 in the half, and Magic is sitting on a double-double. With less than 5 minutes left in the game, Bird feeds Robert Parrish inside, and Parrish sinks the bucket after drawing the foul. This play in particular isn't all that special, but what follows is a moment that will be remembered forever. As Parrish lines up the shot, Bird and Magic stand side by side, ready to box each other out. And then, this happens.
Beautiful pass to Parrish, who really powers it through after being hit by McAdoo.
Great pass by Larry Bird.
Oh yeah, look at that. I remember that.
Ball game.
In a moment that was seemingly insignificant, a photographer snaps a photo that would summarize the greatest rivalry in the history of the sport. 2 dynasties, 2 legends, battling it out on the greatest stage. After all, this box out was irrelevant. Robert Parrish sunk the shot, but the photo itself isn't what makes this moment so incredible.
I had no idea about that, by the way. I know that photo. It's a classic. I didn't know the context. It's funny how that works.
It's the story behind it that has cemented this picture as one of the NBA's most recognizable images. Bird and Magic weren't just fighting for a rebound. They were fighting for their legacies. Another legend that had to fight for his legacy was Reggie Miller, a player that had to claw his way through one of the toughest eras of the Eastern Conference. Miller had to play the Bulls dynasty, a New York Knicks squad with Patrick Ewing and John Starks, an Orlando Magic team with the best young duo in the league with Shaq and Penny, and a dominant Miami Heat team with Alonzo Mourning and Tim Hardaway.
So many players we would have thought differently if Michael Jordan didn't exist. I mean, he just covered some of them. And, Reggie Miller, Penny Hardaway, young Shaq, prior to Kobe, Tim Hardaway, Alonzo Mourning, those guys, like Patrick Ewing, John Starks, and the crew, like they all were title contenders, but Jordan just fucking sold their dreams, man. Anyways, let's get back to this. I'm sorry. That's a cool fucking dunk pose right there. Like it looks like he's gonna pull a hip.
All 4 teams having 60-win seasons throughout Reggie's prime. But despite Miller being the best shooter in his day and leading the Pacers to the top spot in the Eastern Conference on 3 occasions, he was never able to get them over the top. He got close again and again and again, but close was never close enough. However, of all the incredible...
The same thing as the Suns guy, I can say cool close. So the same thing I can say as the Suns guy if it wasn't for the damn Rockets. Man, I hated the Rockets in the 90s because the Suns could have gone to multiple finals. I'm talking 3 or 4 finals in the 90s when we had Barkley. If it wasn't for the damn Rockets. Y'all remember Mario Ellie? Man, that guy broke my heart.
Moments the great Reggie Miller has given to the game, his most memorable one came in Game 4 of the 1994 NBA Finals. The Pacers were facing off against the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. After being up 2-0 early in the series, the Pacers fought back to tie it up 2 games apiece. Indiana had all the momentum, and they brought that same energy in Game 5. With Spike Lee in attendance, after trailing by 12 points at the end of the third, Reggie Miller activates Miller time and absolutely buries the Knicks in the 4th.
With a 15-2 lead, here's Miller for 3.
Bang.
Fleming with another Miller in the backcourt. Here's Miller points.
I loved Reggie Miller, man. I still do.
There's Miller. Swings away.
Bang.
And hits.
Skinny little guy busting ass. Look at him.
Yes. Miller open again.
What most people don't know about Reggie is he was one of those rare, like 1 percentile that had the killer gene. Like, he would bust your ass. And Mike Lee was stupid for setting him off. That's like setting off Jordan, Kobe, Luka, Bird, one of these guys. Like, you don't piss him off, dude. And New York would have won this game if it wasn't for Spike Lee. I'm sorry. I don't think it's a hot take. Anybody who watched it knows. Reggie would have probably lost this game. The Pacers would have lost.
From downtown in this 4th quarter. Miller
He got pissed.
hits again.
Nothing but swishes.
35 for Reggie Miller. 14 of 26 from the field. 21 of the 35 have come here in the 4th quarter.
Miller
21 of his points came in the 4th quarter because Spike Lee pissed him off. You understand that?
would go on to score 25 points in the 4th quarter alone.
Yeah.
But while having the game of his career, Spike Lee was taking part in his usual banter. At this point, Spike has become a staple at Knicks games. Where there is heated action going down in the Garden, you are sure to see Spike Lee close by. Now, most players may play along.
Yeah, and the Bulls busted his ass
say a
too.
Thing or two and move on.
Hey, New York fans, if you're out there watching, I appreciate y'all. New York fans, how do you feel about Spike Lee? Do you want him pissing off the opposing team? Because he sure pissed off a lot of the teams that beat your ass. You know, I'm not talking shit about the Knicks. I'm just talking about Spike Lee. How do you guys feel about him?
But on this day, Reggie had time. And in the midst of dropping 39 on Spike's team, Reggie Miller shut Spike Lee down with one of the most infamous moments in playoff history.
Do it. Do it. He was staring right in his eyes. This wasn't even about the Knicks anymore. This was Reggie Miller versus Spike Lee. Look at that. He just stared. Holy shit. Oh, man.
Reggie Miller giving the choke sign to Spike Lee.
As if Spike didn't already know his team was blowing the lead in the series, Miller gave that man a clear reminder, a reminder that stood as a warning for all trash talkers. After adding insult to injury and humiliating the Knicks in their own house, it was clear that Spike was not ready for the smoke.
I know this has nothing to do with Kobe, but I got another question for you, New York peoples. Um, what is it about Madison Square Garden? Why does everybody light you guys up in Madison? Like everybody has their best game against you guys in your home court. Like, is there something to this? Because it ain't just Jordan. Like it used to, we used to just think it was Jordan, but everybody lights up in Madison Square Garden. Why? What the hell is it?
Just look at him. Pathetic. Now, I want to end this video with a brief story about the most recognizable photo in NBA history. This one. Well, not the logo itself, but the photo it was designed after. In 1969, the NBA wanted to separate itself from its newly found competition in the ABA. So the National Basketball Association commissioned Alan Siegel to create a logo for the league. And after searching for the perfect picture to design the logo after, Alan stumbled upon this photo of Jerry West. Thus, the famous NBA logo was born. Only this is not the photo the logo was based off of. Despite this being the image most fans associate with the logo, this is the wrong picture.
Wow.
The actual image that inspired the logo
Really?
is this one. A photo of Jerry West driving to the basket circa 1966. In fact, when you put the photo side by side with the logo itself, the resemblance is uncanny. Why this image has been tagged with the logo image is a mystery. Some fans theorize that the league wanted to distance itself from the idea of designing a logo after one specific player, so they found an image that was similar enough to give inspiration to the design, but not so similar that it can definitively be one player in particular. But again, when looking at the NBA logo and this specific picture of Jerry West,
Wow. One more rant before this video's over. First of all, I'm gonna do a second video. I think I'm just gonna like fire these off, even though it's late. These videos are gonna underperform. I'd really appreciate some comments and some likes and all that stuff. Share it with your friends if you could. I'm just doing this because of how I feel about all the Kobe stuff today and the statues. By the way, I only saw one statue. I thought there's supposed to be three. I wonder what they're gonna do about that. But do you guys think it's about time that we move on from Jerry West? Um, like this is a classic logo. I appreciate this, Jerry West. But I kind of feel like it's time to move on and put Jordan in there, you know? What do you guys feel about that? It's no disrespect to Jerry West, but this day and age, 2024, I think it might be time to update this.
it's clear that the NBA did just that. Let me know in the comments below. What is the most iconic basketball photo ever taken and why? Is it the image, the moments leading up to it, or the players themselves that have made these photos so iconic?
I mean, that's the coolest looking photo. My favorite one though is the Kobe and Jordan because once I learned the context of it, and it was Jordan. It was post game Jordan. Um, that game, I think it was Ahmad Rashad who was asking him like, "What were you and Kobe talking about?" And he told him straight up, like, "I'm kind of surprised Jimmy didn't cover it, but what Kobe was asking him, according to Jordan that day, was Kobe asked me like, when you're in the post, how do you read the defense?" And Jordan said basically it was, I read the defense by what their legs are doing. So it's not about them doing that because back then you could forearm somebody. So that's not about the forearm in the back. That's how I read the defense. Apparently that was a mistake. I didn't get mentored by freaking Jordan like Kobe did, but it was by the leg positioning. And it makes so much sense now that I'm older and I can think about it. Because if you can feel where the legs are with your own legs, then you know how they're postured because your back is facing them. So if they're postured with their right leg into you, then well, you got to move to you got to go to the right. You know what I mean? Because they can't move fast enough. And Jordan, I mean, I saw him do it 1,000 times in the post. So if he shifted to the right, did a pump fake, and then back to the left, he got him every time. And if it was a slower opponent, he'd just go to the right, give him what they gave him, and he'd drive to the basket or take a jumper. Sorry, this is like deep fucking basketball nerd shit at this point. I love the game, but was that make sense to you guys? You know what I mean? And it was the exact same if someone was, left forearm with their left leg, like, hitting your back left leg, then you know what's going on. You can ride them in with the right if you wanted to, but you're going to be contested, or you can shift them to the weak side, their weakness to the left, and then they have to shift their whole body in order to catch up with you. And you got to clear lane to the basket, and you got 1,000 different tricks you can pull once you get them on that first juke. All right, that's it for this video, you guys.
Be sure to subscribe to join High
No
Roller
more
Nation,
basketball
and
talk.
as
I'm gonna
always,
pump out another
until
video after
next
this,
time.
though. I'm gonna post this real fucking fast. Guys, thank you for watching. Um, you know, I didn't realize I needed such a basketball outlet until I started this channel, and the comments and everything, like, y'all, right? Especially since I've been on crutches lately, and I've torn. Like, the communication with you guys has been fantastic. So I really appreciate it. I love this channel. I love this community. And peace. I'm gonna pump this one out, and I hope you guys watch the next one. Bye.